Welcome, welcome, welcome. We sure appreciate you joining us. This is a re-recording, a re-giving of the message that I gave on Sunday. What we found was there was a problem with the Spreaker feed, and so we want to redo it because we want the sound quality to be excellent. So I just want you to know this is being delivered live, but it was delivered first on, and we had a great time. Just so you know, you really miss out when you miss the services on Sunday. We cut up and we have a good time. But now I'm here, as you can tell, I'm here with Buckeye, my little protective puppy. She's a protective little girl, and so she looks out after me, protects me from all the bad things in the cul-de-sac. You know, there's a lot of things in the cul-de-sac that are bad. If you live on a cul-de-sac, you know. So your dog always hears everything that happens, I'm sure, just like mine. That being said, on Sundays we meet in Newark, Delaware. It's a really, really cool thing that we do. Not just because I'm involved in it. It's mostly all of the cool that comes with it is really great people that are there. We have great food. You know, of course, I love great food, and that's a big thing for me is great food. All that said to say this, I really. Wow, it's just fun. It's fun. It's sweet. It's old school. I'm not going to lie. It is old school. It's old time doing church. It's not the same as nothing against the other churches. This is kind of a different thing. We call it the Kehillah, the gathering of the believers, the followers of the way. And so that's why we go a little bit different at it. And so I just want you to know that you can come to that. We meet at 5. We have dinner. Now, sometimes we meet in our Middletown location, but we always let you know first. So let me just say this. There are Spreaker applications. Now, I normally do a Facebook Live with this, but the Facebook Live went through, and it's fine. There's no need to redo that. But we do a Facebook Live. So if you have Facebook, I usually have 5,000 friends. Sometimes we call back some friends on the list, and we add people on. But contact me through private message, and I'll be more than happy to bring you on. Also, if you can click on follow, that's awesome because you can participate in all that stuff because these are made public. When I do the Facebook Lives, they're public. But the way that you're listening now through Spreaker, a lot of people don't know that we paid to have these apps developed for the iPhone and the Android, and it's really, really cool. I really love it. For me, it's really been worth it. It's really, really been worth it. So it's Spreaker.com/the-ninja-pastor-radio-show. I know that's fast, but I got a buzzsaw through this. So you can listen to that on your desktop, or you can go to your Google Play, and you go to your Google Play store and type in the Ninja Pastor, and it will pop up. If you go to iPhone, if you have an iPhone, you go to the iPhone app and type in the iPhone store, Mac store, Apple store, whatever. Type in the Ninja Pastor, and it'll pop up too. And it doesn't cost you anything. We paid the fee, so there's no 99 cents or anything like that. It's completely free, and it's a cool way to follow what we do. It really, really is. It's a cool way to follow what we do. Then we also have DrSeanGreener.com, DrSeanGreener.com, DrSeanGreener.com. And so we have a blog there. We have all kinds of different things. There's also a button there, donate button. If you believe in what we're doing and you want to help support what we do, we're eager for that, and we appreciate that. So all that being said, we also have, let's see, what else do I have? At the Ninja Pastor on Twitter. Follow me there. Also on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Now, Instagram is predominantly my photography. So that's pretty much what you're gonna see is, my photography there. So follow me there, and we'll be glad to have you. And that's at the Ninja Pastor too, on the Ninja Pastor on Instagram. I think I'm on something else, and I don't remember what it is. Oh, Quora. If you want to follow my advice on Quora, Quora. If you've ever been on Quora, you type Dr. Sean Greener in, Sean Michael Greener, I think I am on there. If If you type that in, I will pop up. Click on follow, subscribe, and all that stuff, and all the different places. That'd be awesome. So pretty wrapping papers. Now, see, now when I'm giving this, we're already through the New Year's. We've been through New Year's Eve. We've been through New Year's Day. I hope you had a very sedate New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Fun, but sedate. And that it was safe. You know, the key is to be safe. And so I was a police officer, and I worked many New Year's Eves, and brutal. It's tough to tell people at that point in time in their life that the worst possible news they could ever get, and you're there delivering it in the wee hours of the morning. So I'm praying that all of you got home safely, and God bless you. I really, it's a new year. It's 2019, right? It's 2019, so here we are. Another chance. I don't subscribe a whole lot to, New Year's resolutions. There are some things that I'm going to refocus on and say, and add focus on, and say, okay, clearly, this is something that I can do better. This is something that I didn't achieve in 2018 that I need to do. So time is precious, and you want to make your life count. You make your life count for you, make your life count for God, and make your life count for your family and your friends and society in general. So, but I know this is close enough that you can remember this. Pretty wrapping paper. It's all torn. Remember back Christmas morning, if you have a family there, and Christmas morning, all the paper gets ripped off. If you have little kids, rip, gets flying, all that pretty wrapping paper. I mean, somebody spent a lot of time wrapping it, and they put them in these trash bins, and then they get shipped away. By now, everybody's wrapping paper has been shipped away. It's been taken away. The garbage trucks have come, and they've hauled it away. But just a few weeks ago, it was beautifully wrapping presents. And those presents, hey, they were given in love. Yeah, they were given an obligation. Some presents were given an obligation. Some of the presents that were really beautifully wrapped, I mean, just gorgeous. Some of those, hey, they're awesome. They're gorgeous. But the person giving them was more concerned with the appearance of things than with the actual gift inside. And even the gift inside, you've been to places, companies that have gift exchanges. Anybody that draws the name of the president of the company or the manager of their group or the person to whom they report, the person who writes their review, I don't want to give a bad present. So, and you may hate the person, but you're going to give a nice present. You're going to wrap it really nice, and you're going to really try to outdo that last person, everybody else in the group. So some presents, they're given in obligation, and some are not wrapped that well, but great love. You ever know anybody that just can't wrap for anything? They're just not very good at wrapping, but they try. They do it themselves. They want to do it themselves. And then you have people that are really great at it. They're great at wrapping, but you know what? Wasn't a lot of thought, wasn't a lot of love put into what's in there. Well, I got to get so-and-so. I got to get so-and-so's present. Ugh. You know what I'm saying? I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I think you've experienced that. Some of the presents poorly wrapped, but given in great love, great intent, great love. Nothing short of breathtaking. The beauty in that. Sitting there on the edge of your seat. You ever be there? You're so excited to give this present. My goodness. Oh, I can't wait for them to open it. Come on, hurry up and open it. You want them to open it. Everybody's going around the group of gifts, and but you're so excited. You want to see the gift that this person is going to get when they open it. You want to see that because you're excited to give them this lovely present. You're excited because you love them and you put a lot of time and thought into it. Pretty wrapping paper adorns. It's pretty to cover the presents. It's pretty to decorate things temporarily, but you know what? It's nearly worthless for anything outside of that. And immediately it gets discarded, gets thrown away. It gets ripped off the gifts, and where does it go next? Into that plastic bag. It gets toted out to the garbage bin. The wheelie. One of my friends called it a wheelie. They'll take that out to the wheelie. Well, it's thrown away, no matter where you put it in a receptacle. It's nothing more now than just trash. But 1 minute ago, it was ooh and ah and all that stuff. Ooh, look at that beautiful thing. The very next minute, it's balled up in trash. The thing inside usually comes in a box. I don't know if you ever thought of this, but the thing inside comes in a box or packaging or whatever, whatever kind of packaging it is, and it has a very specific purpose. Well, what's its purpose? Its purpose is to catch your eye in the store or online. It's to catch your eye. It's to protect the contents during the handling at the warehouse or the store or the delivery truck or United States Postal Service. Well, it's also to keep you from opening it without a chainsaw. Some of these things, man. You ever see some of these packages? Some of these gifts? Good lands. Oof. You can't barely get into them. I don't know if they still sell the CDs, but I think they do. I think they sell CDs because I think they sell DVDs too. But, those things, they're impossible to get into. But the wrapping has a purpose, whether it's to keep it from getting stolen from a regular store or to protect it during shipping, bounce around on a truck or a plane. It's got a purpose. Well, everything really has a purpose in some way. Christmas wrapping paper's purpose is very clear. It's to make it pretty. It's to make it exciting. It's to make a fun thing of it. Ooh, what is this? Oh, look at this box. I can't see into it. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to get it. Well, the packaging of the gift or the item, whatever it is very clear, and it has great purpose. But at some point, the packaging gets discarded too. Usually on the third minute, the box, you hang on to them, right, for about, 3 or 4 days, and you're like, why am I holding on to this? Where am I going to put this? And so it gets thrown away. So at some point, the packaging gets discarded. The box, what it came in, gets discarded, usually on the third minute after the warranty expired and the fourth minute after the item failed. And, I'm going to tell you this. The most often companies, and there's a lot of research in these companies. They spend a lot of money. I mean, marketing is a big thing, all the way down and through packaging and handling and all these things. They put a lot of research into it. And most often companies spend more on the packaging than the product itself. The thing that's inside, it's more spent on the packaging than the things inside. Look, you guys know I wrote a book, Excellence Killed the Church, How Mediocrity is Destroying America. And that this cover is not fancy, but the cover of my book costs more than to print the book. I mean, it costs more for the cover than it did to print the book, and that's crazy. Wine bottles and wine labels, that's the same thing. Those are more expensive than the contents. Now let's reverse it, just for fun. Let's say you're given a gift that's not very beautifully wrapped. The box in it is an old, tattered box. Something rather odd, It's just a box you found, but you wrapped it up. But inside that box is an item of great value and beauty. It's diminished, really, to some. Looking at it, I watched a show over this weekend. I can't think of the name of it. What's the name of that show? It's on Netflix. Instant Hotel, and it's based in Australia. And these people that do these Airbnb type of things, and boy, they were cutthroat. They were cutthroats. They were looking at how a lot of things were and really cutting it up on the other people's places. It was a competition, so they weren't very nice. But most family people, most nice, decent people, they're not going to judge so much. But inside, you look at the box and you look at it, how it's wrapped, and you think, ooh, it's not wrapped very pretty. And the box inside feels kind of shaky. It's odd. It's weird. But inside that box, once you open it up, is this thing of great value. It's beautiful. Is it diminished by the outward wrappings? No, it's not. It's the thing inside that matters. It's the thing inside that has the actual value. The actual value of the gift is the specific item inside the package. But when everything else is stripped away, the item many times seems much less valuable. Let me give you an example. I don't eat a whole lot of cereal since now I heard it's not good for me. I mean, who knew? I used to eat cereal by the gross, I used to eat it all the time. But now I hear it's not that healthy. Oh, well. But you buy a box of cereal, and let's say you pay $4. I think that's an accurate price, a relatively accurate price. And the packaging, it's so appealing. You walk down these aisles of grocery stores. We're so fortunate here in the United States, on the aisles. And I know we have people listening from all around the world, and many of your countries I've been to. But I know how it is here in the grocery, and we're very, very fortunate. There's just rows and rows of every kind of cereal you can think of. So the packaging has to stand out, and they spend a lot of money on the packaging. The packaging is so appealing; it gets you to buy it. Put it in your little buggy or your cart, whatever you call it, where you live. I like the word buggy; it makes it fun. And so you put it in there. But then when you get home, a lot of people, they take the cereal out of the box. The box that inside thing, you tear that open, and then the cereal. Their goal is for you to eat it in a hurry so that you go buy more cereal. Oh, I don't want it to go bad, so I'm going to eat it. I don't want it to get stale. But a lot of people, when they're buying cereal, they'll put it in a Ziploc bag or one of those little airtight containers. So when you pour them in there, you think to yourself, hold on a second. I just paid $4 for this tiny amount of cereal? It's mostly sugar. Well, a friend recently told me something about Pretty Little Liars, and I thought it was very interesting. They confessed that they've been thinking about people being so concerned about appearances in lieu of reality. And I've been thinking heavily on the looks can be deceiving topic lately. Seems like a lot of people are, especially as it pertains to relationships. But it can apply to many areas of life. Everybody seems so focused on making sure things look good, giving people the impression that they have it all together. You know what? People go broke trying to look rich and impress people they don't even care about with things they don't have and they can't afford. Well, instead of pretending, instead of covering up, instead of making it look good, what if we actually took the time and effort to clean house, so to speak? Mind, body, soul, emotions. Get to the root of our issues. Invest the time and the effort to discover, acknowledge, and heal all those hurts, habits, and hang-ups that we have. The thing is, in this society, we have an epidemic of fake things. Fake food, fake medicine, fake people, fake value, appearances, fake, fake, fake. You can make your box of junk, really, look real pretty and deceive many. But at the end of the day, who's fooling who? I seem to think that there is a severe glut in deserved positive self-image, deserved. If you look around, everybody wants a trophy. Now, let's help their self-image. Let's boost their self-image. They need a self-image boost. I'm talking about deserved self-image, deserved positive self-image. We earn that. But you know what? Society nowadays is craving endorsement, craving acceptance. When you get real with yourself, though, it's still just a box of junk. Most times you're left feeling crappy about yourself, stressed, overwhelmed, exhausted, and you've got nothing to show for your efforts. New year, new you, and time for a real and positive change. Stop messing around with junk. Stop messing around with things that'll harm you, that'll make you sick, that'll weaken you, that won't lift you up. Hey, listen, let me say this. I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Some of y'all have a toxic member of your family. There's a toxic member of your family, and I want you to think a minute. About that. You dread every Christmas gathering. You dread every gathering, every family gathering. You dread it. You're like, oh my gosh, I hope so-and-so's on their best behavior because they're just wearing me out. I can't take it. Boy, if they act up, there's a toxic person. It's in your family. You have friends. It's hard when it's families. It's hard when it's holidays. I say have the boldness to go to that person, maybe one or two or three of you, and say, look, every Christmas you come here drunk and we can't have it anymore. Every Christmas you come here mad or sloshed or whatever the case may be, angry, whatever it is, judgy, self-centered, whiny, little baby, bratty. You need to calm down with all that. Stop thinking about yourself so much and think about others. We want to have good times as a family, but we don't need you over here acting a fool, messing everything up. I want you to think a minute about social media and reality TV. I want you to think about reality TV stars. How about social media influencers? You ever hear this? Social media influencers. I didn't even know what that term was. I want you to think about social media and how people do those selfies. They're so contrived and filtered and photoshopped. Look, I'm into photography. I'm really, really into photography. But I've never messed with Photoshop. I don't know how to do it. I know how to use Lightroom, but I don't know how to use Photoshop. I don't like to add in things that aren't there. I don't like to take things out that annoy me. I want to try to frame the picture as best I can, do the best I can to make it look the best I can, but I want it to be real. Well, the thing is, people do that with their selfies. Hey, let me ask you this. In the age of, this popped into my head, in the age of social media and internet, this or that, you ever be on one of those internet sites? And I'm not against those, by the way. I think they're fantastic. Most of them, dating sites, if you're honest. But you ever connect with a person, and boy, they don't look anything like their picture. You think, what in the world? What in the world? When you see them, you're like, that. You call them by their name that they gave you. You're like, I wasn't sure I had the right person. Oh, yeah, it's me. Well, you and the real don't look anything like the picture. And they kind of laugh it off. Starting the relationship off on a lie. I talk about that in the book I'm working on called #FraudLife. It's going to be an ebook, and it'll be out soon. I just finished another book, by the way. We're working on a title. We're having it edited now, kicking around titles. What it is it's I'll talk more about it at the end, but it's a real-world commentary / summary. 250 words or less on each book of the Bible. You're going to learn stuff that you never knew, but it's in plain language. And it's what, as I read through the Bible, one of the times I read through, I did this for a class at Masters International School of Divinity. Back then it was Master's School of Divinity and Master's Graduate School of Divinity. And so you had this thing. You couldn't get past your undergrad without doing this course called Bible Mastery. Every single student. And every student had to do this project. And so I did it, and it kind of blossomed a little bit, and the folks said, you need to make this into a book. And so we did. So we got a lot of stuff in there, not just the commentary / summary. We've got a lot of other cool things too. And we're starting a series this coming Sunday where we're going to walk you through the Bible in less than a year. Simple, plain, clear, raw, and real, but very, very accurate. So anyway, you stand in those pictures. Stand this way, look thinner. Stand this way to look happy. I don't know. I don't know. People smile in a certain way. You kind of can look at it and go, that's not real. When I do photography of people, and I don't do a lot of photography of people, but when I do photography of people, portraits and such, I just tell them, be yourself. Be yourself. Now, I can do the poses and all that stuff. I know how to do all that, but I just want you to be yourself. Be who you are. Smile. Be happy. Maybe some of the pictures you're not supposed to be smiling, happy. Sometimes, the model looks, especially perfume. If that perfume is so great, why do you look like it stinks so bad? And how about eat a sandwich? Some of those perfume models, eat a sandwich or something. Put some mayo on that thing. They're skinny. I think, what does that thing make you lose weight? Maybe I might buy it. But then you look at the price and you think, yeah, I know how I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to buy this perfume and not be able to afford to eat. Well, they even have ways to stand so you look in love. Stand this way to look fulfilled. Stand this way to look desirable. You know what? I have a friend that worked in reality TV for a long time, and she's been on some of the most popular reality TV shows on television. She's on one now. I'm not going to say which one it is. She's on one now that she does, and it's real because you have to perform on that one. Well, she told me so many appalling stories. I mean, I'm not going to ruin the shows for you. I'm not going to say what shows they are and what all, but man, you'll never watch another one that way again. You never will. I'm telling you, it's stunning how we're being manipulated and defrauded on a daily basis through our TV set. You know what? The news does the same thing. #fake news. But why? Why are we being defrauded? Why are we being manipulated? Because somewhere along the way, someone or a few someones figured out how to defraud people by manipulating them without them even knowing they're being manipulated and defrauded. First, what draws a person to want people to be liked? What draws a person to want to be liked or loved or shared or subscribed, followed? In this age of social media, everything drives off of how many followers you have, how many likes you got, how many shares you got. Did it go viral? I've had things go viral. My life's no different or better. We're told, I don't know if maybe some of you I guarantee some of you are old enough to, I'm old enough to know, I'm 53, old enough to know when there was no social media. You remember a time when there was no social media, there was no internet, no cell phones. But you know what? There's always been, as long as I've been alive, there's always been the Smiths versus the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the Smiths. There's always been this group of attention grabbers who they appear or try to appear to have it all. But in the quiet, dark corners of solitude, they're actually terrified to know at all who they really are. They don't want to know who they are. They don't want to know who they are on the inside. They don't convince themselves, not for a minute, with all that stuff they do on the outside. The terrifying silence of the night, the solitary night. It penetrates awkward wrapping. I call it the interrogation of silence. The interrogation of solitude. The awkward wrapping paper, the faux finish of their personality and their facade is stripped away, and they're left with the innards that we all have, the blood and guts, the hurts, habits, and hang-ups. And you know what? They will do anything to silence the sounds of silence. As well as, and you know what they do? They fill it with, air quotes, friends. They fill it with people who, they're not their friends. That you buy the drinks, they're your friend. You're done buying drinks, you run out of money, you're not their friend anymore. You're the life of the party? Great, we're hanging around with you. You're going to fund our fun? Great, you're our friend. Well, but then when all those people are gone, they want to silence those thoughts of who and what they really are on the inside, for who and what they are depending on. Look, they want you to believe they're a certain thing or a certain way based on the wrapping, based on the appearances, based on the pretentiousness, based on what others think of them. Have I fooled them? Did they fall for the act? Have they hit like, love, subscribe, or share? But in their hearts, they know they're frauds. That's why I wrote the book, #FraudLife. They're frauds wrapped in fancy, shiny paper. You know what? They're so concerned. Well, I wouldn't even say concerned. They're consumed. They're obsessed by who they are to people they don't know and really don't care about, other than what they think of them when they press like or subscribe. We've all talked about the snowflake generation. Appearances, they matter to them. Feelings matter to them. They're not at all concerned with facts at all. They are concerned with feelings. And really and truly, if we're being honest, most often, it really is their feelings. They're not concerned with your feelings. They're concerned with their feelings. There's a commercial on television. I won't say what the name of the company is, but it's a well-done commercial. But it starts off with this man. He's out front mowing his lawn, and he's sweating. It's obviously a very hot summer day. He's probably just home on his only day off, or maybe before he has to go into work, or he got home from work and now he's got to mow this lawn. And he's pushing this mower over his lawn. Beautiful home behind. You can see this beautiful home. And his daughter, I'm not good at guessing ages, but maybe she's 12, 13, 14, whatever. That age range. She comes out and she calls her dad. You know, she doesn't even walk far from the sidewalk, the sidewalk in front of the house. And he's all the way down near the street mowing. And she keeps yelling, "Dad, Dad." And then he shuts the mower off. He stops what he's doing. And he turns. And she says, "Will you take me over to so-and-so's?" And obviously he gives the answer no. And she's mad and she storms off. Next thing you see is he's bought a pool so that all the friends will come over to his house. It's a beautiful pool. And his family's in there and enjoying it. And he jumps in. He's having a great time. I'm not against all that. But the point that I'm making here is that most people are like little kids nowadays. Even young adults are like it. Even I know people 50 years old that have their head stuffed up their own rear. They can't even talk. When they're talking, it sounds like another language because they are rude. They're self-centered. They're self-absorbed. I do talk about that a lot in the book too. You know what? This modern generation, facts don't matter. Feelings, my feelings, that's what matters. You know what else? Political correctness. Political correctness over rules or reason. Truth. Concrete truth. Before it was millennials. They were the first to come under the scrutiny of more seasoned folks. But now it's the snowflakes, as we call them. And as we've learned, they can be dead wrong in their political correctness, but in the silent dark of the night, they're still dead inside and they're still wrong. Try as they might, despite all the pretty wrapping paper, despite all the feel-good bumper sticker sayings and the memes, but the person who lives by the likes and the loves and the follows and subscribes, that person is soon to experience what it is to be flipped in a minute. You know what? The dangerous problem with this mindset is this. People are fickle. Aren't they fickle? They're fickle. I don't think anybody even says that word anymore except for me. But you know what? Fads change. Styles change. Even the vernacular changes. Even if it was an obviously grammatically incorrect word, because every other social media influencers incorrectly using the word or phrase, everyone else creates a new etymology. It's a shift. It's an etymology shift. It's a shift in word meaning. So we get dumber and dumber. But why? Because they are filling the empty with the fake. And you know what you get when you fill empty with fake? You know what you get? You get a nation that consumes more illegal hallucinogenic drugs than any other in the world in history. Some drug war we aren't winning, huh? You get a nation that's dying of heroin overdoses at a rate nothing short of epidemic. Some drug war we aren't winning, huh? You get a nation so addicted to prescription painkillers, the home burglary rates are exploding simply because the burglars are so addicted to prescription pain pills. They will steal when they can no longer afford the street price of oxycodone or Percocets or all the other things. All those other prescribed prescription drugs. Not only will they steal, but when a homeowner inadvertently catches them, unless the homeowner is also a gun owner, the homeowners often become victims. Murder, rape, assault. Well, you know what? We don't have a drug war anymore. We've lost. Why? Because you can't feel filled when you're empty. Why are people so empty? Why are even Christians, pastors, worship pastors, praise music writers even, constantly talking about being broke and feeling broke and trying to find God's will for them, trying to find His place for Him, trying to feel fulfilled instead of being so empty and broken? You know what I would guess it's because in most of the cases I've counseled and I've dealt with directly, they're far more concerned. The people are far more concerned about how they feel. They're obsessed with how their emotions feel to them. They're more obsessed about that, their own feelings, than they are about what God says, what God has told them. And often that's just wrapping paper. But the truth of the matter of it is, that's not how it is at all. It's like God says, people say, well, lean not unto your own understanding. Scripture does say that. But listen, He gives us tools, and when He gives us tools, you know what He expects us to do? He expects us to use them. Here's what will fix you. Now go do it. The guy had to go into the pool of Siloam. The guy had to, they had instructions. Every time God gave a healing, you had instructions, except for in a few cases where all the woman had to do was touch the talit, the hem of the garment. He knew power left his body. Yeshua knew power left his body. But even then, she did something. She acted upon her faith. She believed. She made the journey around people who said she was unclean. The 12 years with the issue of blood. We don't know what that issue was, but we know it was bad enough for her to be shunned. It affected her whole life. But you know what she did? She believed. She believed. And then she acted on it. But a lot of times in this generation, even some of the pastors and worship pastors and more, they're always writing about being broken and Lord heal me and the Lord heals them. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. And in the book that I'm going to start preaching about next week that we've just finished up and we're just kind of buttoning up and all of that, I'm going to talk a lot about that. But how does this happen? Even worship pastors, pastors of churches, big churches. How does it happen? You know what? It's simpler than you might think. It happens when people don't have a heart-level connection with Scripture and thus a heart-level connection with God. Of those who pick their Bible up on a regular basis, if they have one, nowadays that's pretty rare. Maybe they know how to recite some of the Scripture. They know how to proof text the passages of the Scripture to fit how they feel or believe. And you know what, my friends? That is why there's such a prevalence of the feeling of brokenness. Number one, it doesn't mean what you think it means. It doesn't say what you think it says or what you hope it says. It says what it says and it means what it means. But you know what? People reinvent God. They recreate God in their own image. And you know what that becomes? It becomes wrapping paper. Wrapping paper does not fill an empty box. Many people, you know what? They won't admit it. But they're intimidated by the Bible. You know what? There was a time when I was intimidated by the Bible. I've had 11 years of more than 11 now, of postgraduate education. I can tell you, I've read the Bible maybe 40 or 50 times. And I still tell you, there's some parts of the Bible that are intimidating. Before my crash, I read parts of the Bible in original language. And still, many parts of it, many parts of it intimidated me. And they intimidate me still. I still have to work on it. Well, you know what? Over the next many weeks, I'm going to be giving you all snippets of that Bible summary I talked about. It's like a Bible summary commentary. No more than 250 words per chapter, per book of the Bible. And then I'm going to break some things down around that and talk to you about some real things that stem from those scriptures from those books of the Bible. And I wrote this for real people. I'm a real person. Look, it's a start. It's a few bricks in the foundation. The Bible is the foundation. Look, remember this. Even discarded wrapping paper can be recycled. I want you to stay tuned. In the meantime, it's already struck 2019 by now. I want you to find your Bible this week. If you have a printed Bible, find your Bible. You say, well, I can get it on a free app. I get it on a free app. I have thousands and thousands of books, literally thousands of books. And then I have thousands more online and on electronically. And I have hundreds of Bibles electronically. But I have a whole pile of Bibles. And I love them. Man, I love to have them in my hand. There's one right next to me right now. There's something about having that book in your hand, your own personal reading. Now, augment it absolutely with reading electronically, but take some notes. Write some stuff down. Maybe have some questions, and then reach out to me. I'm glad to help you. This first week, though, find your Bible. If you don't have a Bible, buy one. If you're buying $4 or $5 coffees every day, skip those coffees. It'll be good for you. I love coffee. I got a coffee right next to me right now. But make it yourself. Find a way to make it yourself, and like we did in the old days. Just for a few weeks, and that'll be enough money to get you a really good Bible. And I'll tell you what I recommend. I recommend the Complete Jewish Bible because it's easy to read, it's very, very accurate, and it comes from a Jewish or a Hebrew perspective. Also, the English Standard Version, very, very good. Very good. And if you can afford it, get those with the commentaries in them, the study notes. New American Standard Bible, they have that too. New King James Version. Look, my Bible commentary and summary is going to be available very soon. It's going to be on an ebook. It's going to be very low price. My business advisor, Jerry, and I have talked about it, and we've come up with $9.99, and that's a great value. It's, I think when it's all said and done, it'll be about 120, maybe 116 to 120 pages. It's 116 now, so it'll be more than that because there's other stuff we're putting in it. It's low cost. It's designed to help me cover my distribution costs and all that because it's going to cost me to house it, to send it, and create all that infrastructure. So I can't afford to give everything away. But one thing we do is we give away Bibles. That's one of the things this ministry does. It's done it in 2018 and 2017 and 2016. We've given away cases of Bibles, and they're very nice Bibles. Each of those Bibles cost me personally $60 each. You say, holy moly, that's a lot of money. They're some of the best made Bibles you can buy. And we do that because we want to give you something of great, great quality. So if you can't afford a Bible, you're somewhere where they don't have Bible stores. Hey, we sent one to Syria a few months ago. We sent one to Syria. Believe it or not, war zone. So we're glad to do that. But if you have a Bible somewhere in the house or you do have the resources to do it, please go get you a Bible. Get you a nice Bible. Let me say this. If you want to help us send Bibles to people, go to the Dr. Sean Greener, DrShawnGreener.com, DrShawnGreener.com. Front page, go to the donate button. You can donate through PayPal there. It's very, very safe. That's what we do with the money. We pay our broadcast costs. I don't get any money from it. We pay our broadcast costs, distribution, all that stuff, and we buy Bibles. That's the biggest expense. Look, I want the best for you in 2019. You know, I was in a crash, and it took my life momentarily, and it changed my life forever. It shortened my life incredibly, and it took the life of someone in the other vehicle. I was struck head on, 92 miles per hour versus 51. I went from 51 miles per hour to 0 in 7 feet. And you know what? I remembered something one of my professors told me, Dr. Skip Moen at Masters International School of Divinity. And it was a quote from Abraham Heschel. Something sacred hangs in the balance of every moment. I want to say that again to you. Something sacred hangs in the balance of every moment. Listen, don't allow yourself to waste your year. Don't allow yourself to waste your year. Get on top of it, stay on top of it the whole year. Get on top and stay on top. We would love for you to connect with us in some way through all the distribution ways. Let me know how I can help you in that journey. I want to help you in that journey. I genuinely do. So you contact us through the website. You can email me at smgreener@gmail.com, smgreener@gmail.com. You can contact me through Facebook, through private message. Probably email's probably the worst way, really and truly. I get about 20,000 emails a week. So if you have Facebook, contact me through that. I'm on this other thing called MeWe, M-E-W-E, MeWe. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how exactly you find me on that, but it's not that big yet. So if you go to that, it's free. I think you can search me. It's a little like Facebook, but there's some key differences, and I'm not sure I know how to use all of it. But contact me some way. Contact me through direct message through Twitter, direct message through Instagram, any of those things. Click on follow while you're there. And I really, I will do everything in my power to help you. And that's sincere. I mean that 100%. Well, I sure appreciate you taking the time to listen. I really do. Share this. Get the free apps. They're completely free. The Android app, the iPhone app, completely free. They download in less than a minute, and they're usable right away. The cool thing about it is you can listen on just like an audiobook. You can listen on your way to work or on your way home or while you're in the grocery with an earbud in, and if you have to stop the recording or you get a call, it pauses it right there. And so when you go back to it, however long it is, it remembers where you were, and you get notifications when we're going to be on. I sure appreciate all of you. I appreciate your encouragement in 2018, and I'm really looking forward to the best 2019 we can possibly have. God bless you and keep you.